I don't know what else to call this outside of a whistleblower, guys. It states the West would have sent its troops into Ukraine if Russia didn't have nuclear weapons, said NATO Military Committee Chair Rob Buer. Guys, this is very, very significant, and I don't think enough people know why. But don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe, because we're going to really get into it. And if you haven't already, please become a member on our YouTube channel, guys, so you can get early access to content and priority replies to comments. Become a member on our Patreon for ad-free content where I can post banned exclusive videos that I can't post on YouTube. So let's go ahead and see what he has to say.
And I'm absolutely sure if the Russians did weapons, we would have been in Ukraine, kicking them out. We would have. But they have nuclear weapons, so it's not the same as in Afghanistan. And to your point, sir, when it comes to are we making the same mistake when it comes to the peace deal in Ukraine? Because I guess you're pointing at that. For me, there is a big difference between Afghanistan and Ukraine. Actually, Afghanistan was never of strategic importance. If we're really honest, Afghanistan was not of strategic importance. We spent 20 years there, and we did a lot of things, and people lost their lives. But if you ask the question, was it of strategic importance, Afghanistan? The answer is no. Is Ukraine of strategic importance? Yes. Because it is connected to the rules-based international order discussion. It is connected to being in the heart of Europe. It is connected to the ambitions of Russia and indirectly the ambitions of China.
Wow. So as you guys can see, literally, guys, he's saying out of his own lips, we basically attacked Afghanistan and all these other countries for no reason whatsoever. We just attacked them because we could. We attacked them because they were rich, they had oils, and all the richness they had. So, just to prove my point so that you guys don't think I'm talking out of thin air, let's go ahead and see what Donald J. Trump has to say himself. But before we get into that, look, this is Mr. Robert Peter Bearer. He is a ditch military officer of the Royal Netherlands Navy who has been serving as chair of the NATO Military Committee since June 2021, succeeding the previous one. So guys, this is where it gets interesting, because if you guys think that this is just me pulling random conspiracy theories together and that this is just a stretch, let's look at what Donald J. Trump has to say himself, guys, because this came out of his lips himself, and this is why Donald J. Trump does not want to work with NATO, guys.
And it's unbelievable. So we're in Libya. You know part of the reason we're in Libya? Because the Arab League, which is Saudi Arabia, and a few of the other richest countries in the world, they have money coming out of their ears. You go to those countries, you see the most incredible airports being built or already built. You see bridges that make the George Washington Bridge in New York look like a toy. You see the most unbelievable things. And you come home. We're like a third world nation. You land at LaGuardia. And they wouldn't be there except for us. We protect them for nothing. For nothing. So Libya, Saudi Arabia, and the others say, we don't like Gaddafi. We don't like him. We'd like you to take him out. And Obama said, okay. So he forms a group, meaning NATO, which is us, by the way, just so you understand. NATO is us. You know, a lot of people say NATO, but NATO is largely us. So we don't even have control of what the hell we're doing. Gaddafi tonight's riding down the streets. Wait, can you believe this? He's waving at everybody. So we form a group, and listen to this one. Who's the leader of the group? France. France. France wanted to go in first. Now, of course, we haven't seen them since, but they were there the first time. And they got all the glamour. They took the glamour. So they form a group, and they go in, and Obama talks about the regime, maybe not, and we don't want to kill anybody, we don't want to hurt anybody, we do want to change government, but we don't want to hurt. Nobody knows what the hell he's talking about.
So guys, if you guys don't understand what he's talking about, basically Gaddafi was known as basically the president of Libya. Here's where it gets really interesting, guys, because not only was he like the president of Libya, but it gets interesting because, as you guys can see here, 143 tons of gold that Muammar Gaddafi set aside for the creation of a single currency for Africans and the Arabs are still missing today. That's 143 tons of gold. Today, that's easily trillions of dollars, guys. They got missing when NATO came into Libya, while NATO claimed that they found some weapons of mass destruction. Absolutely a load of rubbish, guys. And that's the reason why Obama and his administration, they were attacking these countries. Not Trump, not the newer administration. It was Barack Obama. Yes, you heard that correctly. So Barack Obama was actually the one attacking Libya and all these other nations so that he could take the resources and the riches, because they're afraid of Africa becoming a superpower, because then they could be competition against the United States of America and Russia and US being the only two superpowers in the world. And one more superpower would have meant all the more competition, guys. Absolutely ridiculous. And guys, here's another claim too, which is very interesting, as we can see here. Mr. Burkina Faso took back their gold mines from a British company said to be the largest miner in Africa. And guess what they did after retaking the mines? They immediately nationalized them. This is what Gaddafi did in Libya. After taking power in Libya, became one of the richest countries in the world. Absolutely disgusting and satanic what these people are doing. They have a satanic agenda to be warmongers, to murder people if it means that they can have the riches of this world, guys. They are unrightfully murdering all these nations, and they've been doing it for thousands of years. It's the reason why the Muslims conquested the Christian nations. Syria, Iraq, Turkey, Iran, all these Middle Eastern and African nations were once Christian nations. But Muhammad, he saw the riches that we had in our Christian nations, and he wanted to conquer the whole world. So guys, this isn't something brand new with the modern day globalist elitists. This has been a thing for thousands of years. Muslims have been doing it, so don't ever think that Muslims are victims in this situation, guys, because they are just as bad as these modern day NATO or globalist elitists who are trying to take over all the world resources, guys. This is not brand new. But let's go ahead and look into this, guys, because it's very interesting. Before, Mr. Gaddafi got Epsteined, he did talk about a lot of things that, a lot of people believe in that are simply just untrue. Let's see what he has to say out of his own lips talking about this event right here. Where is Al-Qaeda? Al-Qaeda is here in New York, and I have to read it because if not, they are going to demonetize this video. Who was he? Bin Laden, right? And then it states Bin Laden made this heinous act, and then he says no. Was he on board on one of those aircraft that hit the towers? Wow. That's crazy, guys. And he says no. There is another thing. And then he says, I don't think in front of us we have a court sentence. Visa Bin Laden on this or that. That the terrorists who hit New York were not from Afghan. We're not from Afghan. They did not use the airplanes or take off from Iran or Afghanistan. Literally, if you guys look at the flight records, they didn't come from Afghanistan or Iran. They flew from JFK Airport here. So they came from the United States of America. They were trained in America. They were not trained in Iraq or Afghanistan. This is literally crazy, bro. This is absolutely satanic. So basically what he's saying is that we literally went to war with them so that we can take their resources. When you look at everything holistically, that's what makes sense. We did that to take a resource grab. That's all it was about, guys. All these globalist elitists want to do is they have the love of money, so they do anything for money. But on top of that, they also are very satanic. And they love it when people are Epsteined away, guys. Because you guys have to understand, these globalist elitists, these demons that are behind these people have the love of money, right? But the demons that are controlling them, the demons behind the scenes that you don't ever see, these demons, they have like a hunger. They get hungry. They need more innocent blood. They need more sacrifice. And so whenever they do these warmongering activities so that they can have more money, these demons behind the scenes are being fed. They're becoming stronger and stronger and stronger, guys. It's the love of money. The love of money is the root of all evil. This is why the word of God says that. There's nothing wrong with money. There's nothing wrong with giving money, earning money. Nothing wrong with any of that. However, when you have the love of money, that is the issue. And that's what many of these people have, as you guys can see. And then just again, to clarify my point, let's see what Mr. Kremlin has to go ahead and say about this. Putin is saying that, watch closely its interview with Putin. He's been very patient with the NATO warmongering. He's very calm and measured about the involvement of the US, UK, NATO, and Ukraine, but the line is closer for an all-out war. And what's interesting is Trump actually wants to pull out of NATO, which is why they hate him so much, because guess what? US is spending over 50% of we're literally spending 50% of the revenue for NATO. It's all coming from the US. So we make up a majority of NATO. Without us, they're nothing, guys. So we have to understand that we are a very powerful superpower. We pull out of NATO, guys, we are going to be not only balling, but guess what? We're also not going to have to go to war with North Korea, Russia, China, Africa, and all these other continents and countries. Because guess what? They're going to want to ally with us as a superpower. But let's see what Putin has to say.
Последние дни мы видим и слышим, что на очень высоком уровне Великобритании и США муссируется тема о том, что киевский режим сможет наносить удар вглубь территории России западными вооружениями большой дальности. И, судя по всему, это решение либо вот-вот будет принято, либо, судя по всему, вообще уже принято. И эта вещь, конечно, экстраординарная. Хотелось попросить прокомментировать то, что происходит.
Происходит попытка подмены понятий, потому что речь не идет о разрешении или запрете киевскому режиму наносить удары по российской территории. Он и так наносит с помощью беспилотных летательных аппаратов и другими средствами, но когда речь идет об использовании высокоточного оружия большой дальности западного производства, это совершенно другая история. Дело в том, что я уже об этом говорил, и любые эксперты это подтвердят и у нас, и на Западе. Наносить удары современными высокоточными системами большой дальности западного производства украинская армия не в состоянии. Она не может этого делать. Это возможно только с использованием разведданных со спутников, которыми Украина не располагает. Это данные только со спутников или Евросоюза, либо на Соединенных Штатах, в общем, с натовских спутников. Это первое. Второе, и очень важное, может быть, ключевое, заключается в том, что полетные задания в эти ракетные системы могут, по сути, вносить только военнослужащие стран НАТО. Украинские военнослужащие делать это не могут. И поэтому речь идет не о том, чтобы разрешать украинскому режиму наносить удары по России этим оружием или не разрешать. Речь идет о том, чтобы принять решение о том, что страны НАТО напрямую участвуют в военном конфликте или нет. Если это решение будет принято, это будет означать не что иное, как прямое участие стран НАТО, Соединенных Штатов, европейских стран в войне на Украине. Это их прямое участие. И это уже, конечно, существенным образом меняет саму суть, саму природу конфликта. Это будет означать, что страны НАТО, США, европейские страны воюют с Россией. А если это так, то, имея в виду изменение самой сути этого конфликта, мы будем принимать соответствующие решения, исходя из тех угроз, которые нам наносят.
So guys, so those of you guys that don't understand, you guys like to listen to mainstream media. And no, I'm not saying that I'm some kind of commie and I'm a pro-Iran, I'm a pro-Afghan, I'm a pro-Russia communist. Guys, that's not what I'm saying at all. The reality of the matter is, though, is that NATO is absolutely satanic and warmongering all these other countries. Guys, it's absolutely satanic. And this is why Trump himself, a good patriot of the United States of America president, he also wants to go ahead and pull out of it. So this isn't just my random aloof ideas, guys, that I'm just pulling things out of nowhere. So Putin himself is basically saying that when Russia is in war with Ukraine, they're not actually in war with Ukraine. Russia is also in war with America and Europe through NATO. And because they're in war with NATO, right, this literally is against like all, basically any and all laws that they have of war. This can literally cause a world war, literally. So so Russia has every right to go ahead and send nuclear missiles. They have every right to get North Korea, China, and all these other countries allied against the US and Europe, right? Again, it's not saying that I want this to happen. I literally live in the United States of America. So any of you Karens in the comments, I want to take what I'm saying out of context, get out of my channel, please. But anyways, guys, what I am saying though, however, is the fact that we are literally at war with Russia, and that's being just swept away by mainstream media. Because on the surface level, you see Ukraine fighting with Russia, but then again, we're actually at war and we're using Ukraine as a front. Because in reality, we're the ones at war with Russia. We're not only sending our troops there, but on top of that, guys, we also literally have, guys, the missile codes. So the nuclear missiles, they actually have a thing called missile codes. And only American and European troops have the codes to them. So only American and European soldiers have the codes to these nuclear missiles. Not Ukraine, but America and Europe. So this goes to show that this is an all-out war against us versus Russia. This is not a war between Ukraine and Russia, guys. So don't ever be fooled. Don't ever forget that, guys. Absolutely disgusting, guys. People need to wake up to this madness. But it gets even more interesting because he does make pretty great points, right? He also talks about, you know, more into further detail of what NATO actually does.
Разработка оружия массового уничтожения в Ираке. Зашли, страну разрушили, создали очаг международного терроризма, а потом выяснилось, что ошиблись. Потом сказали, нас разведка подвела. Ничего себе. Страну разрушили, страну разведка подвела. И все. И все объяснили.
Это политики самих Соединенных Штатов. В том не секрет, что самую агрессивную, самую жесткую политику в защиту своих собственных интересов, так как понимают это американские руководители, проводят именно Соединенные Штаты. Причем из года в год. Наших войск за границей нету практически, российских. Американские войска везде за границей. Везде во всем мире американские военные базы. И они везде принимают участие в решении судеб других народов, находясь за тысячи километров от своей собственной границы. Поэтому упрекать нас в том, что мы что-то нарушаем, мы по сравнению, это очень странно со стороны наших американских. Мы же двигаемся к НАТО, а НАТО двигается к нам. Поэтому говорить о том, что Россия ведет себя агрессивно, по меньшей мере не соответствует здравой логике. Мы что ли пришли на границу куда-то? К нам же подошла инфраструктура. Подчеркнуть это. Я говорил, но мне очень бы хотелось, чтобы вы меня услышали все-таки в конце концов. И донесли это до своих читателей, зрителей и пользователей в интернете. Но вы понимаете или нет, что если Украина будет в НАТО и военным путем будет возвращать себе Крым, европейские страны автоматически будут втянуты в военный конфликт с Россией. Конечно, потенциал объединенной организации НАТО и России несопоставим. Мы понимаем. Но мы также и понимаем, что Россия одна из ведущих ядерных держав. По некоторым компонентам, по современности даже многих опережает. Победителей не будет. И вы окажетесь втянутыми в этот конфликт помимо своей воли. И вы даже не успеете глазом моргнуть, когда будете исполнять пункт 5 Римского договора. Господин президент, конечно, не хочет этого развития. И я не хочу.
Wow, guys. Very, very sad, guys. And no way am I saying that Putin is a perfect guy. I'm not saying that Gaddafi is a perfect guy. So please, Karens, get out of my comments, dude. And please stop lying against my name. What I am saying, though, is that NATO is absolutely satanic and they're warmongering all these poor nations. And you heard it from Donald J. Trump himself. So this does not make me anti-American. I'm very pro-American. I love the United States of America. However, we do need to drain the swamp. And there's a lot of satanic people behind the scenes that you guys don't see in your everyday life. And these are the people that are forcing us to go ahead and have war with Russia, with Ukraine, with Europe, with Africa, with Iran, with Israel, with Iraq, Afghanistan. The list goes on, guys. We are going to have no enemies at the end of the day if these warmongers keep forcing us to go to war with these countries. And not only that, so many lost souls will not be able to live because so many people are going to lose their lives in these wars. It's very, very sad for the soldiers. It's sad for the families. It's sad for the United States of America. And it's sad for all the other countries that are negatively affected as a result of these wars, guys. So guys, please remember, guys, to look deeper, guys, because that's the goal of making this video, And if you guys haven't already, please don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe, guys. And guys, please remember, please become a member on our Patreon. It helps me financially so much. Become a member of my YouTube. It helps me financially, guys, so that I can go ahead and be able to continue doing this on a monthly recurring basis. I will have monthly recurring income from you guys. So I appreciate all the love and support, guys. Thank you guys so much for getting it this far in this video, guys. I really do hope you guys enjoy it, and share your opinions below. I'd love to hear your comments. I'd love to hear your opinions, guys. Share what you guys think below, and I hope you guys have a blessed day. God bless you guys. It was your boy.